Welcome to another episode of Cooking with the Kid. As you know, we're in the middle of our soup series, so what we're going to continue doing is adding on for those cold winter days. Today's soup is going to be a classic favorite. We're going to try and tackle French onion soup. So stay with me so you can take this classic home, and bon appetit. And today's ingredients will be the following: 4 medium to large onions, 1/2 cup of unsalted butter, a few shoots of fresh thyme, 2 quarts of beef broth, 3 heaping spoons of flour, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 bay leaves, teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of salt, about a teaspoon of pepper. We've got a cup of red wine, some deli sliced provolone cheese, and some French bread that we'll be cutting up to make our baguettes.
Let's go ahead and get started. Let's start to melt your butter on medium heat. Now we're going to add the bay leaves along with a couple of shoots of your fresh thyme that we spoke about. And to be on the safe side, we're going to turn that heat down just a little bit. I've already prepped the onions and the garlic, so at this point we're going to go ahead and add those onions as well as the garlic. And what we're going to do from this point is cook these up for about 25 minutes or so, 20-25 minutes, and we will stir it up a little bit and check back.
We're at the 20-minute mark, and as you can see, our onions are getting pretty translucent. So at this point here, what we're going to do is actually jump in here and remove those shoots of thyme that we were dealing with, as well as the bay leaves. Okay, get these guys here out of the way. And once we've removed those ingredients, we're going to now add that red wine. Bringing that red wine, what we're going to want to do is bring that to a boil. Once it starts to boil, we're going to turn down the heat and simmer off all of the red wine. As you can see, we're at the point where we got a majority of that red wine boiled off, or rendered off, I should say. Give it just a few more minutes here, or a few more stirs, not minutes. And at this point here, we're going to go ahead and add that flour. We're going to dust the onions with the flour. Get it nice and coated. And we're going to stir that in and turn that heat down just a little bit more. That way we don't burn our flour. We're going to do this for about 2 to 3 minutes. Make sure we get that raw flour taste out of it. See how it's congealing really good for you, coming together. And here, at this point, also I'm going to add just a little bit of salt and pepper. Put some seasoning on top. Mix it up a little bit more for us. And at this point, folks, we can go ahead and add our beef broth. Gonna bring that back to a boil, continue to stir for about 5-10 minutes. And here we have our finished soup. But wait, there's more. There's actually 2 parts to your French onion soup. Stick with me and we'll go to the second part. On to part 2. What we did is went ahead and we sliced up that French bread and made small baguettes with it. And as you can see, we placed 2 of them together, as well as we're placing the provolone cheese on top of it. We've already preheated the oven, and we're gonna broil these for about, until they start to bubble and broil, I guess, until brown would be the best way to put it. And we're gonna end up putting that on top of our soups. Now the other option would be if you had a small soup crock. We don't have any, but those are a couple of options you can do with French onion soup. Bread out of the oven, we're gonna put a little bit of those thyme pieces on top. Make it look a little prettier for us. And also add just a little bit more seasoning. At this point, folks, we're going to ladle some of that soup into bowls. Should we get a lot of onions here? Set that on the side there. Place one of those baguettes that we just recently did right on top. And there we have our French onion soup.